Okay, so today we are removing this stock wheel. Now this wheel is a flat bottom steering wheel, and this is kept at the original size that you will find in the 207s and the 308s. Now this is a flat bottom steering wheel, and what we're going to be doing is just changing this for an RCZ steering wheel. Now, to put it as simple as this is how the video is going to go. So right now, if you want to just see the install video and how to change the steering wheel and all that sort of thing, go ahead now. I'm going to put the time here now, on the middle of the steering wheel, ready? That's going to be your time. Check it out now. For those that are staying, welcome aboard the journey. So the reason why I'm doing this is two reasons. One, I wanted a smaller steering wheel. Now, if you don't know much about these, the RCZ steering wheel is the smallest you can put on the 308 and 207 without having to blank or having to fiddle around with the airbag system, get harnesses, etc. to run a smaller steering wheel or a different steering wheel. So this one actually is more aesthetically pleasing on the 308 and the RCZ this comes on than the other models such as the 207. So it is nice with the flat bottom. Now I'm going to show you the difference between the steering wheel, and there's another reason why I'm doing this, and the other reason is because behind here the button is missing, as you can see, off of my volume key. And it's just rather annoying to have to keep reaching over to the radio every time I want to put the volume up and down. So obviously this is coming off in order for me to get into here more easily and be able to replace this unit. So that I am doing this today. So that is my two reasons why I'm doing this today. A nice new clean steering wheel and to sort out with the 308cc anyway. So make sure you open the passenger door if you need to use it, and the driver's door. The reason for that is because the window will draw up like this. Now if you unplug the battery, the window's going to stay up, so it might get lodged up in here or potentially damage the window trying to get the door open. And also you can't actually then shut the door because this would be hitting on here. So this would mean this will stay like this and you can open and close the door. So obviously just be aware that you will be getting water in here if it's raining. So make sure that your door on both sides is open. So unplug the battery. And there's no set recommended amount of time, but I'm going to leave mine for a good 10 minutes. So here we are. Here is the RCZ steering wheel. Now as you'll see, the differences are fairly obvious. They might not be obvious, but this is a smaller steering wheel. I will get them out side to side so you can see this very soon. And really the main differences are the handle point here. It's a much more nice wheel to use. The grip, I'll hold it here, look. The grip is much nicer. It's a much nicer feeling steering wheel. It's also a lot smaller, or not a lot smaller, but it's definitely noticeably smaller than the stock steering wheel. And the main differences, as you can see, is the RCZ badging there. So it's slightly smaller on the bottom and slightly smaller on the top. I'll hold them next to each other, although you may not get too much of a direct comparison between the two steering wheels as they are there. So yeah, I'm going to try and get a better angle so we can see them next to each other, but I will take them off soon so you can see the differences. So overall, it's a better wheel upgrade. It looks nicer in the car as well. So if you want to upgrade to a RCZ steering wheel in your 207, 308, 407, this is the way to do it. There you are. So you can see them there. You can see the RCZ steering wheel is smaller than the 308 one. If I do this, look. There you can see the height difference, look. So we're trying to push him through here onto this pin. So this is exactly how we're going to be on the back of the steering wheel, and we're going to be pushing with the tip. You're pushing with the tip on here to push this metal part here. I do apologise guys, I'm trying to do this all with two hands. So yes, you're going to push this in. It's hard to locate it. So remove the two T25s from under here. We're going to get this plastic trim out of the way. So just be prepared, we might find an array of dirt and crap under here, so no judging me, yeah? But we've popped off the top, so you just push up a little, get a little spanner in the side here and just push up the side so this comes up. And then this unslots off of this leather piece of trim here. And the bottom, because we've undone the bottom, we'll pull the key out quickly and get this out around there. Yeah, we are. The leather trim pulls off of the top layer of plastic and then just pulls out of the dashboard like so, leaving the top of it accessible through here. And the bottom we can just pull out and down. You have to release the handle underneath here by pulling this down towards you. This one, pulling it towards you to get this out. Top tip, this is an absolute bugger. So If you come underneath here, you can just see through the back of there, you can access the back of the steering wheel to pull the pins out. Now, if you're a lucky whiz kid and you can get through there, fair play to you, because I can't. So I've gone in through the back and I managed to pull one of the pins out. And what you do when you pull one of the pins out is jam something in this gap. The reason for that is because as soon as you start pulling this pin, this one goes back in. And equally, I've had to have the steering wheel rotated now, so that will probably go back in. So get something in there, so that ain't going to go back in. And now finally I can release this pin and this should all just come straight out. So the perfect tool for this job is actually, funnily enough, that's actually a file. But you want something with that sort of hook on it so you can get up and round, because if you use something straight, you just haven't got the leeway. So you need something with a nice bit of a curve on it to be able to get in there and push it through. So the airbag is set free. I'm going to put the steering wheel back straight, and then we're going to look at taking off this steering wheel. It's on. Right, so pull out this little tab. This will let you very gently, I say gently, you don't want to snap this bit here, see? Which is what I'll probably end up doing, no my luck. Yeah, so it should just come out, but it's not wanting to come out. There we go, slowly. Or it's just going to stay on there, I think. It's just doesn't want to come off. No. So it does come out, it just needs some persuasion and gentle fingering. So if you're experienced in fingering, you'll be excellent. And this side here, I can't actually see where I'm sat, but this one has got to come out. So let me switch the camera off and we'll come back to it. Such a fiddle here, guys. I should have put my little GoPro stick on. So there we are. You can see like a little tab. It's so difficult because I'm trying to do everything I want here. There's a little tab there, tiny little tab. I want to unhook that, and then this comes out. This is for the horn. So the steering wheel is back somewhat straight. I'm going to use a T45. We're going to bang it straight in here, and we're going to loosen it, but we're not going to remove the bolt. And I'm going to show you why we're not going to remove it in just a moment. So get it loosened. You might need someone to hold the steering wheel while you twist it the other way. So the steering wheel's now loose. Now what you're going to do is you're going to beat and bash it like you do with your missus on a weekend. And then we're going to try and make sure that it's completely loose, and you can slide it backwards and forwards before we can remove this, because if you remove this off here and shake it and bash it, you're going to pull it potentially out into your face, which might be ideal for me but probably not for the rest of you. There we go. I want that back and forth movement, and now we can unbolt and just pull off. So there we are, guys. There is the difference. You can see there is definitely a size difference between the two steering wheels, and the part I was telling you about the feel is just very flat, but you can see this is quite an abbreviated. It's just a really nice steering wheel to hold compared to the stock one. So this wheel will be on the 308cc's. I don't know about 308 hatchbacks, I don't actually know, but I do know these are in the RCZ on the non-GT models, and the GT models will have these. But what I can tell you is either of these steering wheels will fit in a 207, 407, 308, any of the 308cc's, SWs, and obviously RCZs if you want to upgrade from this steering wheel to the GT steering wheel. But overall, it's a much better feeling, nicer steering wheel. And the other benefit is obviously the airbags are the same, so you don't have any problems with airbag issues, and you can still see your dials. A lot of people upgrade to smaller steering wheels, so first of all you're going to have no airbag. And the thing is, normally I wouldn't care, but because I'm in a convertible, I want the airbag system working efficiently and correctly, because I'm in a convertible and if something does happen, it's going to be needed. So yeah, this is probably the best all-rounder for me. Let's get this steering wheel on in just a moment, and we'll go from there. Just be careful to inspect as you're going these to make sure these are not damaged here, otherwise you will be getting a potential airbag light, or your horn will not work. So make sure that when you're mounting that, you're getting that straight. So this inserts into here. You'll see on the steering wheel there is a gap for that, and there's also a notch in the steering wheel, and there's a notch on here. If you want to zoom in a little bit closer, you can just see, there we go, there's a notch here, so you're not going to get the steering wheel on upside down like that, which is excellent stuff. So there we are. Right then, so this is the new unit. I'm not going to install the whole clock unit because I haven't got an airbag issue, so I don't need to replace that. So I'm going to unplug this. All you've got to do is pull the retaining clip forwards. You can see here there's two little clips, and then on the back here, this can be done on the car, by the way, with the steering wheel on. Just got to remove the plastic trims, which I did earlier in the video. Unclip that, and then that just pulls straight out. So it's this lovely simple job. So I'm going to replace this unit so I can finally do my volume, and then we are all ready to get the steering wheel back in place. As you can see, I've removed mine here. So there we are, ready for the install. A nice new, well used, but nice new unit in there with an actual volume button, which is going to be amazing. And we're going to get this back together. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to do a switcheroo. I'm going to install the plastic trim back on, because I will admit to you, it's a bit of a pain doing it with the steering wheel on. So I'm going to get the trim back in place, and then we're going to put the steering wheel back on last. Goodbye. So I'm rushing now because it's raining and we're in Wales, obviously, classic. So this is back in place. Now this steering wheel feels just incredible. What an upgrade. It's not back in the correct position, but wow, that feels really amazing. I know you guys are thinking to me, there's not much of a difference between them, but I tell you what, that feels good. And yeah, it definitely is smaller. You can see the gap visually where the dials are is definitely a lot smaller. So yeah, that is lovely. I'm super excited to get this back on. So make sure you gently get your wires through. That's really, really important. And before you push the airbag back in, make sure all your wires are properly plugged in. There we are, all in, not in the right position, but that is amazing. So I did use my old airbag just because, well, it works, and the other airbag I was unsure whether it's been crashed because it had a slight ridge down this side of the airbag, so I was a little bit unsure. Bit of a shame because I've got a pre-facelift badge on this one, not a facelift badge, and they are slightly different airbags, although they are the same, so it probably wouldn't have been a problem. But just to keep it safe, I've used existing airbag and obviously unit behind here, because I know that it's all working and functional. We don't know whether this has come out of a crashed RCZ, the airbag that came with it, so it's a bit of a shame to have a pre-facelift badge, but it is on. And yes, also so you're aware, if you just buy the steering wheel itself, it will fit with your stock airbag for your 207, etc, etc. So there we are, guys. What a great little video. Sorry it's a bit crap. I've had to fiddle around trying to hold the camera while doing it all, but yeah, well worth the upgrade. I think it looks absolutely amazing and I cannot wait to drive it. It feels awesome.